Previously on UIM Bagwork, we started out the account fresh off a tutorial island and completed about 20 quests. We made our way from Lumbridge to Varrock to Ardoin, Ardugne, and we're going to head back to RD now because we're going to be doing our first diary on the account. That being the RD Easy Diary. This is going to be yet another foundational achievement. The RD Cape is going to be very, very strong and important for any Ironman account, not just the Ultimate Ironman. So let's go ahead and get started on that. The first task we're going to do is we're going to simply speak to Alex here, or Alec, no S or X at the end. And I think that's actually it. Just open up the shop. Nice and easy. Now this next step, I should have prepared for this beforehand, but this was something I overlooked. We need to get our hands on a rusty sword. Now there are two different methods we could go about doing or obtaining a rusty sword. One of them is pickpocketing ham members, in which this is what we're opting to, but the other method is to do fishing trawler. But I don't want to do fishing trawler just yet, because on the off chance that we get an angler's outfit piece, well, I don't have the POH storage for it just yet, so we made our way into the ham hideout, and we're going to be pickpocketing from these ham members now. A whole lot of junk that we're going to be getting that we're just going to drop to the floor. The rusty sword we are after is a 1 in 25.5 chance, so yeah, we'll see how many pickpockets it takes. We also do get some herbs out of this, but unfortunately we still haven't done druidic ritual, so we can't even clean these, or can we? Well, we don't have the herbal requirement. Few pickpockets later, it's not the sword, but we do get some buttons. I'm going to hold on to that. That is also for another quest or another diary task. I can't really remember what right now, but I do know it's important. Alright, after being kicked out of the ham hideout and jailed countless times, we finally got the rusty sword on 51 pickpockets. So about 2 times the rate actually, which is a little unfortunate. But at least we have it now. And also, as a nice bonus, we do have the ham boots and the ham cloak. If we can hold on to these without having to purposely plank later on and clear our inventory, it's going to be useful for some future quests. But let's head back to RD. Okay, that detour to the ham hideout. Let's go ahead and talk to Tyndall Marchant? Marchant. That sounds like a Marchant to me. I don't know. Marchant? Definitely not that one. You hand Tyndall 100 coins plus the rusty sword. And wow, we actually gained like 1,800 coins off of that. And hold on a second. There's a 1% chance that this fails and you'll need another sword or more coins. Don't tell me. Aw, man. Is this a bad sign for the account already? We go 2 times the rate on the rusty sword, and then we hit the supposed 1% chance of failure when trading in the sword. Well, back to the ham hideout we go. Okay, we made our way all the way back here, 2 pickpockets in, so now a total of 53. We have a second rusty sword. I would think about getting a third one just in case, but there's absolutely no shot we fail it 2 times in a row, right? Back at the port, let's try once more. It turned out to be an iron sword, and there we have it. That is the task complete. And since we're here at the port, let's go ahead and do... Well, it says go out fishing on the fishing trawler. We don't actually have to do anything. We just have to start a game. Here we are on the trawling boat, and just by starting the game, we already completed the task. So in the interest of time, I'm just going to teleport out. Never mind, we can't do that. So instead, we're just going to wait until the ship pretty much capsizes, and we'll be put safely back onto the shores. Now, where exactly, I don't quite remember, but I do know it's no risk at all, even on a hardcore, to do this. So I'll check back in a couple of minutes, and we'll continue with the next couple of RD easy tasks. Midway through, I remembered that you can actually log out, and that seemed to do the trick. We're back near the RD monastery, so very convenient. Next task is to check on our pets, in which on this account we don't have any. Just across from the shop, we're going to use this altar to restore our prayer, although We gotta burn up our prayer a little bit here. These low tier prayers don't exactly drain a lot of prayer. So, in fact, you can see here 1 point per 36 seconds. You might be here for a while. And there we have it. This next step, we're actually gonna have to do just part 1 of the task. We're gonna be stealing silk. Although I wonder, let's test it out right now. If I steal silk over here, oh, we need level 20 thieving. Well, be right back. Over at the cake stall here, or the baker's stall, this is how we get 20 thieving, and we can now pickpocket or steal from the silk stall. So let's go ahead and do that. And as I was saying earlier, I do have to wait a little bit because let's go ahead and test this out just now. I steal from the silk stall right there. And let's try and sell. Nope, this guy's too smart. He knows we've stolen from him, so we will come back later. Let's move on to another task for now, and that is to teleport to the rune essence mine. Let's go ahead and teleport to the rune mine, and that is yet another task complete. We touched on this task previously, but now we have to pull the lever from Artie into the wilderness, and that is going to be another task. We pull the lever here. This is going to send us to Edgeville, maybe? No, it sends us back here. That makes sense, actually. Okay, now we head northwest to the combat training camp. Alright, we went ahead and did that. Let's head back into the town and see if we can sell our silk just yet. Probably not, but alright, Mr. Silk Merchant, nope, you're still a smartass. We're just gonna, well, I guess we're gonna find something else to do in the meantime. I could do with training up my combat a little bit, I suppose. Well, while we're waiting for the Silk Merchant to forget about us, we're gonna be starting Fight Arena. So this may be obvious since it's in the name of the quest, Fight Arena, but there is some combat to be done in this quest, and they do recommend you to be much higher level. For example, this first mob we're fighting is level 63, but because magic is so OP, you can save spot and get it done nice and early, like we are now. We're fighting a scorpion now, but we hit level 13 magic off of the ogre just now, and that means Fire Strike, a massive upgrade. Well, this is the risk you run by doing it so underleveled. I couldn't get to the safe spot in time, and we got smacked for a 9. Alright, let's go ahead and get back there. What is the quickest way back, actually? I have no idea. So since I planked, let me briefly explain the UIM death mechanics. The good news is there's no death's coffer, no fee of any kind to pay whenever you recover your gear. The other thing is that there's a 1 hour time window to get your stuff back. This is essentially known as death piling. UIMs often do this on purpose in the interest of needing inventory space for certain types of content, or simply going into the wilderness and not risking what you have on you. For us, though, obviously dying in this context was not great. We're having to go back to the exact location that we planked at, and there won't be a gravestone. Instead, there'll just be all my stuff on the floor. So right now, I'm trying to figure out how to best get back there. I initially wanted to take the boat from Ringington back to Artie. That probably would have been the quickest, but I don't have any GP on me, so that kind of sucks. So instead, we're going to be heading back to Edgeville, pulling the lever and getting to Artie back that way. After a long journey of walking all the way back here, this is not a good sign. I think we have just experienced our first UIM wipe. Now that I think about it, this is an instance, and if I died in here, well, I just made my way back in, and there's no sign of my items in sight. Since I'm still new to the game mode, I'm not entirely sure if that was a wipe or not. But even if it was, the most painful thing actually is the silk, because, hey man, I'm trying to talk here. Because the silk, we're going to have to go back to the stall and steal another silk, and then the shopkeeper is going to be a smartass again, and I'm just going to have to wait all over again. Everything else that we had on us is easily re-obtainable, so it's not a big issue there. Well, now that our inventory is completely empty, I probably should have did this sooner, but this is the perfect opportunity to do so now. We're going to get 43 prayer. If we had 43 prayer, we wouldn't have planked and put ourselves in this situation to begin with. But you live and you learn. So right now we're in the wilderness and we're going to be going to the boneyard. This is a very typical UIM method to get to 43 prayer. It's not exactly going to be quick, but it's good to get done. It's the easiest thing to get done. And we're going to be picking up bones from the boneyard, which is just northeast of the graveyard of shadow, somewhere over here. Yep, it's actually labeled. And then we're going to be running to the chaos altar and getting to 43 prayer that way. So yeah, let me get started on that. I might have to bring in another account to tank these skeletons potentially, or I could world hop. I don't know. Maybe world hopping is probably the better option with the way this is looking. After 28 world hops, we now have an inventory full of big bones. Now comes the risky part of making it all the way to the altar. Bit of walking to do, to say the least, and when we get there, there will be potential PKers. We are pretty low level right now at just level 14, so hopefully that's to my advantage. Alright, here we go, our first batch. We're going to be picking up quite a lot of prayer EXP, a lot of levels here. There's actually a max level guy here, decked out in some risk, I think. You could have a lot of noted bones, but we're minding our own business. We're going to be getting prayer levels here. Ooh, level 15 prayer? Okay. And that is one inventory just like that. We are now level 18 prayer. And I suppose the best course of action is to walk back over there. So pretty long trips in between, but something that we just have to get done. Quite literally takes several minutes between trips, but back at the altar once again. Ready, picking up a few more levels. 23 prayer. And just shy of 24. But off we go again. Trip number 3, we're currently level 23 prayer. Gonna hit 24 right off the rip, as we were pretty close. And we end up being at 26 protect item. Although I don't think protect item does anything on an UIM. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't know if I caught that in time, but this has been such a slow grind. I started zoning out, wasn't paying attention. Didn't realize I ran straight into a hobgoblin, unfortunately. So that's one full inventory of big bones gone. Alright, another inventory. 26 to what? We'll find out. And we end up with 29. Couple more unlocked steel skin, mystic lore. But back to the boneyard we go. I didn't think my big bones would still be here. But I guess UIM mechanics maybe? I don't know. But this is my previous inventory. Well, I was not expecting that. So that's a little bit of a time save. I thought that was gone. So I guess this is inventory number 5. And we end up with 31 prayer. Holy sandals, maybe one day. Oh, but you know what's important actually? We already closed it, but we have access to Varlamore prayer methods now. So that's good. Post 43, we probably won't be doing the Wildy altar too much, to be honest. So another inventory up to 33 prayer now. 10 more levels to go. 34 prayer, incredible reflexes. Ooh, we get ourselves a genie. What am I going to put this into? Probably agility again. Another 110 EXP. Level 12 agility. And the only actual agility we've done so far is the 1 lap at Draenor Village as a diary task. Few inventories later, we managed to hit 37 prayer, protect from magic. That's our first overhead. So we're getting into the goodies now. Next up is going to be protect missile at level 40, and at 43, protect melee. And that is 40 prayer. That's going to be protect from missiles. So 3 more levels until we get protect melee, which is arguably the most important one we want to get right now for these early quests. It has been several hours up to this point, but this should be the last inventory. Let's get through it. Really hoping this is enough bones. It might be pretty close here. I'm not too sure. Think we'll be able to get it. Actually, with some bones to spare. But there we have it. let's go ahead and pause real quick. 43 prayer. Now in our prayer book, we have protect from magic, missiles, and melee. This did end up taking several hours, but I'm just so glad to be done now. And we can circle back to doing RD Easy Diary. The first thing I did was I went back to RD here and stole another silk. Then I went to get some GP again, doing the wine method, rebuilt a little bit, got myself the Staff of Fire, our priest gowns, which give a little prayer bonuses, and then some runes again, because we still need to finish Fight Arena. But let's find out if we can finally finish RD Easy, which is initially what we set out to do. Evidently not. So let's go finish Fight Arena first. This time around, we are well prepared with Protect Melee on. Oh, it disables it going into it, but not to worry. We'll turn it back on, get into the safe spot, make sure we have autocast on, and away we go. So last time this bouncer took us out. We're going to deal with it, no issues this time. And then we also... Actually, I don't think we actually have to fight the general. I think we can avoid that fight entirely. A couple of more hits here. We've actually gained a ton of levels just from fighting this bouncer. Several magic levels, even a defense level, and some hit point levels. And there we have it. Let me turn on Protect Melee because I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. Little cutscene. Yeah, we're not dealing with a level 142 general. Let's get out of here. We'll speak to Lady Serval again, and after all this time, we're going to wrap up the quest, Fight Arena, 2 quest points, 12,000 attack XP, 2,000 thieving XP, and another 1,000 coins. We're up to 35 attack now, 23 thieving, and 21 combat. Okay, well, with that out the way, we circle back to RD Easy, and, you know, at this point, even if we can't get it done right this second, I'm just going to wait for it. Here we go. We're going to try again. Oh, looks like we'll be able to do it. Yeah, take my silk for 60 that I stole from you, and there we have it. Easy RD Diary completed. Let's go claim our rewards. We'll speak to 2 pints here, which I think is actually a reference to a former JMod. And we're going to get the RD Cloak 1, as well as an Antique Lamp. I do think we're going to use it on Herblore, so despite what the quest helper says, we're going to be doing Druidic Ritual, maybe right after this actually, just to unlock Herblore so that I can start lamping that skill as soon as possible. But more importantly, right now we have the RD Cloak 1, which gives us the teleport to the Kandarin Monastery. And yes, this is an unlimited teleport. Okay, scratch that. I completely forgot that this antique lamp requires you to only lamp a skill that's above level 30. So definitely can't be doing Herblore right now. But maybe we can save it for something like agility or another more useful skill. At the moment, we really only have 2 options, attack and prayer, and I don't exactly want to be lamping those. Although we're done with the RD Easy Diary, there are still some stuff around the RD area, some quests I should say, to be done. Sheep Herder, very iconic quest. Let's go ahead and do that now. And so the sheep prodding begins. So far so good on this first sheep, I gotta say. Maybe they did something to make this easier. It used to be pretty notoriously bad. But yeah, no issues there on the first sheep. Okay, admittedly, a lot more attempts, a little bit of a struggle on the second sheep, but still not as bad as I remember it being. Third sheep. Is there a 4th one? There is a 4th one. And this red sheep is in the pen. Nice and easy. That probably didn't even take 5 minutes. Not bad at all. And that is I wanted to say sheep herder completed. 4 quest points. Alright, to follow up on that quest, we're now gonna do... Well, I was hoping for a hammer in this general store, but there isn't one. We're gonna be doing Dwarf Cannon, which will unlock cannons. Obviously, it's in the name, but we won't be able to use one for a while. I don't see myself getting any cannonballs anytime soon. Oh, random event. Do I want to do this? If I get a token, I can't do anything with it, so we'll pass on it for now. Remember when Settled had to make hundreds of accounts just to get through this part? I'm pretty sure I'm on the final railing here, but I'm 1 health and I've obviously constantly failed over and over again, so I guess I'm gonna run back into the town, steal some cakes, and then hopefully it won't take too much longer. If anybody else is on a fresh account and you're in need of some food, you made your way to Artie, this is how you easily steal from the baker's stall to get some cakes. Come over to the east stall, the northeast one, and just stand under the baker. You'll never get caught, and there's a small chance sometimes at night where a guard wanders over here, but more times than not, it's just like this, nice and easy. Now we're going to steal some cakes, eat back up to full health, and probably bring some back to the fence so that we can go repair it. Alright, now that we've made the long journey to town and back, let's just fix this on the first attempt. Oh my. Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm about midway through the Dwarf Cannon quest. Obviously, it's taken a while as I have to walk everywhere, but we're at the part now where we have to go to the dwarves just north of Falador. So instead of leaving the area and doing that and then coming back, I'm gonna go ahead and do Waterfall quest right now, or try to anyways, since we're still in the area. Now, Waterfall quest is a very, very popular quest, known for giving you a huge strength and attack EXP drop just to get yourself sorted. You're going to jump up to, actually I have no idea what you jump up to, but we're already 35 attack, and I think we might end up being close to 40, which is for rune weapons. I wonder if we should get our hands on a rune simi on this account. We might not be able to hold on to it though. Okay, I'm completely exposing myself for just not being prepared in the slightest now that I'm not following any types of guides. In order to do Waterfall quest, we're gonna need earth and water runes. So, I do have to leave the RD area after all. Let's hit the spirit tree and get back to Varrock so that we can purchase those runes, and then we'll also walk over to Falador. Made it back to Aubrey's rune shop. We're going to purchase some earth runes and water runes. I'm just going to get some extras just in case I have some use for it. I don't know right now, but might as well. It took me so long to get here. And then now we're going to head towards Falador, the Dwarven Mine area, to pick up the notes from New Lothian. Here we are with New Lothian. We're going to pick up the ammo mold and the notes actually, and now we can finally go back to the RD area. But you know what? Before we do that, we're actually going to Clan Wars teleport so that we can go to the Ferox Enclave and restore our run energy. Afterwards, we can quickly Kandrin Monastery teleport with our RD Cape 1. Now we're back in the area. Obviously, still a bit of a run as we gotta go all the way up north. Actually, in hindsight, it would have been smarter to use the Barbarian Assault minigame. Although, you know what? As we run up there, we're gonna have to go over there and unlock the teleport. I do believe we have to get there one time, and then we'll be able to use the minigame teleport. I could be mistaken. Some of the teleports are like that, and some of them aren't. It's a little inconsistent. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, we're really just figuring things out on the fly. But here we go, back with Captain Logoff? Oh, wait. I just got it. Oh my. Captain Logoff. And that's Dwarf Cannon complete. Level 11 crafting. Alright, with Dwarf Cannon done, now we finish off Waterfall quest. I say finish off, but to be honest, we barely got started on this one. Having to run through some pretty dangerous areas right now for Waterfall quest, and the hours and hours we spent getting 43 prayer is well worth it. There's no way the quest helper is telling me to bank everything besides the pebble and some food. That is insulting. What is a bank? Everything was all fine and good. I was making my way to finish off Waterfall quest, and then it hit me. I have to drop all my items to access the area I need to get to, but I can't drop this antique lamp. And keep in mind, this antique lamp was from the RD Diary, which I can only use on skills that are 30 or higher. Currently, I only have 2 skills, being prayer and attack, and I feel like it would be absolutely wasteful to use the diary lamp on either of those skills. So the other option is to level another skill, and I think the most efficient place to put the lamp into is agility, but we're only 12 agility, so we're down a rabbit hole now, and bear with me, but first off, we're going to have to do the Knight's Sword. The reason is we're going to get 20 smithing off a Knight's Sword. After that, we're going to do Taurus Trap, because 20 smithing is for Taurus Trap. And then we're also going to need 10 fletching. I think we can just get that on the side, also for Taurus Trap. And once we complete Taurus Trap, we're going to have 2 EXP lamps in which we're going to put into agility. And then after that, I think we'll be 30 plus agility. So yeah, instead of fishing off waterfall quests, that's what we're going to have to do. To be honest, I don't even know if after doing Taurus Trap, if we'll be anywhere near 30 agility. I guess if we're not, we'll just either try to find other quests or actually train the skill up a little bit to meet that requirement. Alright, now we have a game plan. First order of business is to go pick up some feathers. So we're going to actually take the ship here from Ardee to Ringington, which is just a short walk away to Port Sarim, and there's a fishing shop there. Okay, I don't know how many feathers we'll need, and to be honest, I'm too lazy to bust out the calculators and whatnot, so I'm just going to buy like 500. 500 sounds good, right? And actually, also, we are going to part ways with these cakes. Won't be needing that. If I need food, I can easily get back to Ardee to get more. Along with the cakes, we're also going to have to part ways with the plague jacket and trousers. And quick look on the wiki, those things are actually not reobtainable. Typically, on a normal account with a bank, I would probably stash those in the bank and hoard them as a cosmetic, but off to the ground they go. Next step, we're going to home teleport back to Lumbridge. And we're going to pick up an axe, do a little bit of wood cutting, and fletching. Hopefully there's a knife in the general store. There is indeed a knife in the general store. Just chopping some regular trees now. While we are 15 wood cutting and can cut oak trees, we're still 1 fletching, so we can't make arrow shafts out of oak logs just yet. So yeah, let's go ahead and make some arrow shafts. We actually picked up a wood cutting level there, level 16. Alright, we've started fletching here, and to be honest, I kind of had my doubts whether or not 500 feathers was enough. I should have got like 1,000 or something. Okay, we just hit level 7, and yeah, that is not going to be enough. Mistakes were made. I guess we'll get more feathers. I do think going back to get more feathers is quicker than trying to get 3 more levels solely off of making arrow shafts. Well, I'm going to continue working on all these things I have on a little checklist now, but in terms of the Ardee cape, we've obviously accomplished that, and we've accomplished most of the early game Ardee quests as well. Obviously, we still have waterfall quests to complete, but that's what we're working towards now. So until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.